Hi, my name is Sophie and I'm Customer Success Manager at Start. Today I'm going to show you what type of insights your customers can get when they use Start to measure their candidate experience. So first off, I'm going to show you what we call the people journey. It's a live benchmark in Start, so your customers can always benchmark their candidate experience data to other companies. So we show the NPS score of the customer and then the benchmark score of all our other customers. So you can see, hey, am I performing above the benchmark or below the benchmark? How am I doing? We do that on NPS, but also on response rate. We also allow for segmentation within the benchmark. So we have a time filter, but also a region filter, a company size filter, and an industry filter to further segment on the benchmark so your customers can compare themselves with competitors. As you can see with Start, you can measure many different touch points within the candidate journey. And besides candidate surveys, it's also possible to send a hiring manager survey. That's asking your hiring managers for feedback on the collaboration with the recruiting team once a candidate has been hired. So, what does all of this look like in our dashboards? So this is an example of a Start dashboard. At the top of the dashboard, you will see many different filters. Besides a date filter and a survey filter, we are able to pull many different fields from the applicant tracking systems that we integrate with, so that you can segment all of your data on these different fields. These dashboards are fully customizable, so we can do it in any way that you would like in regards to the fields that we offer. So what do you see? You see your NPS score, the total responses, the response rate, the different satisfaction scores to each of the question blocks within the survey. And we also segment for the hired candidate NPS, the rejected and the withdrawn NPSs as well. As you can see, the rejected candidates are going to be less likely to recommend companies than the hired candidates. Show the different comments that were given to the NPS question so that you understand what you need to improve your NPS score, but also what you're doing well as well for your promoters. We show the different average scores for each of the individual questions and any comments that were given to these questions. What I next want to show you is how STAR data can also be used for performance management purposes. As we're able to pull the recruiter name, but also the coordinator name or other individuals, you can also segment the candidate experience data on these different individuals to see what are the different NPS scores related to your recruiters, what is their overall rating, but also for specific aspects in the survey that lie within the circle of influence of your recruiters, such as the screening or the communication. This will really tell you who is influencing your candidate experience in a positive or maybe in a negative way. We also show a priority matrix, as oftentimes the question is, what do I need to focus on first in order to improve my candidate experience? This priority matrix will really help you as we plot the different aspects that you ask your candidates, so you can easily see which aspects correlate the strongest with your Net Promoter Score, and if there are any outliers. In other words, what do you need to focus on in order to move the needle on the Net Promoter Score? It's also possible to measure hiring manager satisfaction. So these are your hiring managers who will receive a survey after a candidate has been hired to their team, so they can give feedback on the collaboration with the recruiting team. This will allow you to fully optimize your internal processes and understand what is going well and what might need some improvements. This dashboard is very similar to the candidate experience dashboard, but it only contains the hiring manager feedback. We'll show the hiring manager NPS, the different ratings that the hiring managers have given on the different aspects that you asked them in your survey, all of the comments that they've given, And we'll also show a hiring manager matrix so that you can see on an individual level what scores have been given by whom. Lastly, we also show a priority matrix. So here you can really see what correlates strongly with the hiring manager net promoter score. So what in your processes should be improved in order to improve the net promoter score for your hiring managers?